in law, you are supposed to study sociology. So you might be thinking that why sociology is important. Okay. The first thing you have to keep in mind that as a student of law, why you are asked to study sociology. If you have to study constitution, if you have to study jurisprudence, if you have to study Indian Penal Code, you can understand because you can use it every day in your life, okay? But why sociology? And you might think that you are not doing BA sociology, you are not a sociology student, but why this subject is imposed on you? But there is a logic, there is usefulness of sociology for a law student. Why? I will try to explain. First of all, you have to keep in mind that what is sociology, okay? When did that subject emerge? What are the major concerns of the sociologist? And how old is this discipline? So what I have done is to study the book by Anthony Giddens. Anthony Giddens wrote a book which is known as Sociology, a short and critical edition. This book was published, I think, in 1982-83. So it has been something around 40 years, okay. So the book was written some 40 years back, but I feel that it is still relevant, it is still useful. And the book is important because it is a very small book. The language is very easy and one should read it. And in that book, Anthony Giddens has summarized the journey of sociology, what are the major debates, when did the subject emerge, what are the major thinkers, what do they have to say, and why this subject is important for law. He has not written that why this is important for law, but when I was reading the book, and since I was going to teach you, so I kept that questions in my mind that how this book is going to be relevant for a student of law also. So let me first tell you the history of the subject. Sociology emerged after the Industrial Revolution, okay. Sociology as a subject emerged after French Revolution, okay. So there were two major events in Europe which had impact on the history of not only Europe but also the history of other countries as well, even the history of India also. So as a student of history, you might have studied this subject in your BA, in your intermediate level, or maybe you might be studying subsidiary paper, or in 10th or 11th, world history you might have studied. That something around late 18th century, there was, what should I say, French Revolution, okay. France की क्रांति है ना, France का इनकलाब. And then at the same time, what has happened that industrial revolutions took place when things were produced at a larger scale, machine was used, and the means of production like factories, land, resources were owned by the rich people, the capitalist people, and the poor people then and the working classes, the laborers, they were forced to work as a laborer for their survival. If they had not worked, they might have died because they need money to eat, okay, survive. So this was the time when the society was also undergoing a churning, okay. The old society was breaking down, the new classes were emerging, and the properties of the poor, the properties of the laborers were exploited by the rich people, and they were being forced to work at as a factory as a laborers. So you understand that in traditional society there were some institutions which were holding people together, you understand. But when the new society came, you had a new challenge, okay. You had new conflicts, you have new issues, the issues of urbanization, the issues of labor, the issue of exploitation, environmental degradation, slums, conflicts, these were all emerging. So at that time, sociologists started reading those phenomena. And generally there were two groups of scholars, okay. One group of scholars believed that the industrial revolution has come and it is going to create wealth for the people, okay. The lifestyle will improve, people will become rich, okay. And whatever crisis is there, okay, that crisis will soon be over, you understand. The crisis will go away, okay. The crisis is only here for a temporary period. But there were other scholars, the Marxist scholar Karl Marx and other, they believed that no, the capitalist system which is controlling industry, which is controlling, let's say, all properties, they are not going to give justice to workers on their own, because the capitalist system is based on the exploitation of the workers. The workers will work and their labor will be theft, okay. The labor will be stolen, and then the rich will become more and more richer and the poor will become more and more poorer. So according to Marxist understanding, the revolution can only bring about justice in society when workers will get organized and workers will throw away the capitalist system, and then the true society, the true emancipation can happen. But those people who were not agreeing with Marxism, they believe that no, we do not need to go for revolution, but democracy, liberal democracy, institution, trade union, labor movements, they will be able to deal with the crisis, and sooner or later the industrial society will be able to remove its problem, and then prosperity will be restored at last. So these are two major groups in sociology. One is those who believe that the industrial societies will lead to prosperity, and if there is any problem, that problem will be over soon. But there is another group of scholars who call themselves Marxists, and they believe that the crisis can only be solved when the workers will take control of the means of production, okay, when they will overthrow this capitalist system. Now sociologists are also divided over this issue, that whether sociology should be studied as, what should I say, as a scientific subject, or it should not be studied as a scientific subject. The earlier scholars like Kant and also Durkheim, they believed that sociology and its methods should be based on natural sciences. The way you study physics, you study chemistry or biology, okay, the way you do research in a lab, okay. So similarly they believe that society can be studied in a very scientific way, and we will be able to understand society, we will be able to understand the pattern of the society by following what? By following scientific method. But scholars like Anthony Giddens argue that scientific methodology is important. We need not discard scientific method completely, but the major thing is that human society is not like a lab, you understand? Human society is not like an object that you can go and you can study like a scientist. You have to study human society in a very critical way. You have to use history also to understand human society. So basically there is also a debate about the methodology of the sociology, whether it is a scientific subject or whether it cannot be studied like a natural science. Now, as a student of law, you will be asking this question, sir, you are talking about sociology, its development, and how the subject emerged in, let's say, 18th century, in the aftermath of French Revolution and also the Industrial Revolution. You have also talked about, let's say, this the method of sociology. Some scholars have argued that it should be studied as scientists study their subject. It should be based on natural science method, but others have criticized it. But now you have not said anything about why this subject is important for law. This is the major question. Why it is important for law? See, sociology is a study of the institutions of the society. Okay, sociology is the study of the institutions of the society. Sociology is the study of the rules and patterns of the society. And the law which you study, they are not coming from the sky, but the laws and their origin are also in society. You understand? For example, Muslim personal law, Hindu personal law, Christian personal law, from where they are coming? Okay. Our laws about marriage, from where it is coming? Our laws about inheritance, our laws about divorce, from where it is coming? Tell me. Society. Okay. Laws about religion, from where it is coming? Society. Okay. Laws about, let's say, crime, from where it is coming? Society. Okay. Laws about what is good and what is not, what is legal, what is illegal, what is fair, what is not fair, from where it is coming? Yes. So suppose if you become a lawyer or if you become a judge, will you be able to give any judgment if you don't understand the society? Suppose if a person comes, let's say, if a Muslim person comes, okay, and if there is a fight about marriage or if there is a fight about property, and if there is a Hindu family comes, okay, and in their family also there is a fight over marriage, if there is a fight over, let's say, property, will you be able to give judgment if you do not understand their society? Tell me. Will you be able to pass the same law for everybody? Yes or no? No. Because you have to keep in mind the values, the morality of the community also. At the same time, you have to also keep in mind the bigger law, that is constitutional law. You understand? Suppose if there is a family, suppose if there is a community, okay, and in that community untouchability is practiced, or some people believe that untouchability is very good, and if they come to you, let's say, and if they say that I cannot give water to somebody because somebody belongs to that untouchable caste, so will you be able to uphold that untouchability, or will you be able to pass law against untouchability? Will you say that untouchability is not justified? Why? Because our constitution is based on the ideals of equality, liberty and fraternity. So you cannot discriminate people on the basis of sex, on the basis of religion, on the basis of caste, on the basis of language, on any descriptive identity. You understand? So even if any community comes and if it says that in my community there is a rule which says that child marriage is very good, or untouchability is very good, or atrocities against women is very good, so you will not uphold it. You will say no, it cannot be allowed in a democratic secular India. At the same time, our constitution has also given right to religious community right to people that they are free to follow their religion and their custom. You understand? They are free to follow their religion and custom. So, if you are a Muslim or if you are a Hindu, if you are a Parsi or if you are a Christian or if you are a believer, if you are not a believer, you are free to marry a person as per your faith. You can go to temple, you can go to mosque, you can go to girjaghar, you can go to church, you can go to gurudwara. So here, no police inspector, no magistrate can pass a law that in Gulbarga, okay, you have to marry only in temple or you marry only in church or maybe in mosque. Why? Because our constitution has given right to people about religious freedom. So what is happening that you have to understand both society and constitution as well. Now when our country became free, the first thing our leaders, our freedom fighters did was to do away with untouchability. Why was it possible? Tell me. Why was it done? Because Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar led a movement against untouchability. Okay. And Mahatma Gandhi ji also supported law against untouchability. Okay. He also said that untouchability has no place in Hinduism. So he was also against untouchability. He said that untouchability is inhuman. So what is happening that in our freedom struggle, there is a consensus which is getting built up that untouchability should be done away with. Okay, there were some people who said that no, it is good because our religion is for untouchability. But Gandhiji said no, it is not allowed. So okay, if untouchability is justified in Hinduism, I will not accept that Hinduism. And he said, but Hinduism will never uphold untouchability because untouchability is against humanity. So the point I am trying to tell you that you can only become a good scholar of law when you have a good understanding about society, when you have a good understanding about community, when you have a good understanding about pattern and institution, when you have an understanding about social facts, when you have an understanding about religion, when you have an understanding about people's faith, when you have understanding about different institutions like caste, community and tribe. You understand? So, to be a good lawyer, to be a good scholar of law, you have to understand sociology also. Because the origin of law is not elsewhere, but it is coming from society. Because law is also made to maintain harmony, to maintain balance, to maintain the well-being of the society. Why law is made? Law is made, why legal institutions have come up? Because we have to govern the society in a harmonious, in an orderly way. Okay, we cannot let chaos creep in. Okay, so that is why sociology is important, because sociology is a subject which is a systematic and scientific and critical study of social facts, social patterns, institutions, people's faith, people's identity, social customs, rituals and religion of the people. So to be a good lawyer, to be a good scholar of law, you must learn sociology. Okay, so and one thing you have to also keep in mind, that subjects are not completely separated. We have separated subject just to make it easy for us to understand. Do not think that sociology is very different from law, and law is very different from political science, and political science is very different from, let's say, history. These are all connected. Okay, and a good scholar is one who will be able to take interdisciplinary method. So if somebody would ask you that why sociology is important, then you have to say that sociology is the study of society. It is a scientific study of social facts. It is a systematic study of the social institutions, faith, people, customs, and also values in the society. So without knowing them, without critically understanding them, you cannot have a better understanding of law. And when you sit at a critical position, and if you do not have the idea about the local community, the customs, their faith, their belief, then you will not become a good lawmaker also. You understand? So these are both connected. Society, the law is originating from society, and law is made in such a way to maintain the balance of the society also. So both are linked. So my request is to read Anthony Giddens' book. I have just given a very brief introduction about what Anthony Giddens has said in this book and what we are going to study. The book is very small. It comprises around 160 or 70 pages. Let's read 20 or 30 pages in a day, and then we will study.